Hi everyone and welcome back in another VCV Rack tutorial. As you can hear, this time something is already going on, and what I prepared here is basically a sampler that is playing a sample that I recorded from an ambient production from not 80, from 60, I think, from a Japanese producer. I recorded just about 1 minute of the full track, and I want to use this sample for create something, for add something to a bass line that we are going to achieve together. So I discovered this nice VCO, so I will show you something now. I discovered this very nice VCO that is basically a wavetable. Now the sound is not very interesting, but we will fix it as soon as possible. So this is a wavetable, and it's very interesting because it got two built-in oscillator. It got an orange section, an orange oscillator, which the sound is coming out from this hole. But for the moment we will use only the blue one. So let's try to make this sound more interesting and useful for our purpose and for a bass line. So what I want to do now is to use a lot of LFOs, the basic LFO from VCV Rack core module section. I want to use, why not, 4. So you have to shut up for a moment. We will take a mixer from Befaco. I love this mixer. And I need the scope because I want to show you what is going on with all these LFOs. So let's try to make some connection. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's change the frequency of every LFOs pretty randomly. In truth, pretty randomly, and let's modulate each other with this knob. So for example, the first one can modulate the first one, the second one can modulate the fourth a little bit, not it's so much. And why not in this way? Yes. So now let's connect to our scope and try to raise the volume up. As you can see, what we are building is something very similar to the modules caudal that produce a random constant signal that evolves pretty randomly. And because every LFO is the behavior of every LFOs is in constant changing, the final result will be something more unpredictable. And let's use this modulation source for change some parameter from our LF4 from our VCO. So let's raise the volume up. And this mixer always got also got an inverted copy of the main source. That is very useful because we want to change also this parameter. Why not? Why not? Now I want to change a little bit this the opening of our filter. As you can see, this filter is already set because I already tried to make something, to make a test for this tutorial. So let's duplicate. Let's connect. I use the sample and hold from Instruo for modulate the opening of our filter. Let's activate, let's trigger our sample and hold. Let's change this slew. In this way we will have a more soft changing. Let's desaturate a little bit the filters because I think it's too much high. Yes. So another interesting thing that I can do, that I want to do, is to add a little bit of an hard modulation for this parameter. So I will take VCO. For example, the Befaco one is perfect. And I want to achieve something like this. I think this sounds fit perfectly our dark ambient philosophy. It's a screamy sound, terrific sound. But I want to engage this changement every now and then. So for do this is very simple. I can achieve the same result using another source, for example an LFO with an high grade, but I want to use the VCO. So I need a VCA. I need an envelope. And I have to do these. Yes. Yes. I want to change also the offset of these LFOs. In this way I will have the positive and negative area. No! I think that the so diff doesn't work. I don't like the result with this. And let's offset 2 of the LFOs. Yeah, it could works. Let's take change. No, not change. Chance. I love this module because it allows me to add a lot of probability in my patches. So I will take as clock, I will take the square wave coming out from one of our LFOs, and I feed the chance with this tension. With the output A, I will engage the envelope. In this way, every now and then we are supposed to get the modulation. Let's adjust the envelope for have a better result. Yeah. Let's reduce a little bit the probability, because I want this sound every now and then, not very often. Because in this way, who listen the track will not be bored. I always forgot. I always forget if I've turned this right or left, which is which, when I reduce the probability or when I raise the probability. In truth, it's very easy to know, I think. Output B chance 75%. It should works. Now what I want to do is to add a brutal delay chain inside this bass. Let's take a delay. And now I'm going to do something crazy. Let's duplicate the delay. So I take the mix signal coming out from the first delay, and I feed the second delay, and I feed the third delay. I repeat this delay chain in this way. 3 and 3. So what I want to do now is something that I already shown in one of my tutorial, but I think that it is a technique that is not used very often, but is very powerful and allows me to build a nice tail, a nice feeling around my bass. Obviously now I will change pretty randomly the parameter, and that's why I raised the drive up before, because with this system, let's say that the power of the final sounds will be reduced a little bit, because the mix sound combine the wet and the dry signal, so we will not have at the end of this chain the same power, let's say. So now I will take caudal and with caudal let's change the parameter of our delays in order to create something more unpredictable, something more, we could say, aggressive. As you can see, there is a lot of difference without and with the delays, because it's hard to explain, but I find that the sound is more dreamy in this way. Oh yes, it's very dreamy. Another thing that we can do is to add more power in the higher part of the spectrum. In this way. Let's change a bit the feedback of our delays in order to create a more long tail. Probably now it's too long. So I change these now. Shut up. What I want to do now is to add more power in the higher part of the spectrum. So this VCA controls the main sounds, let's say, and the second VCA will control only the higher part. So I take the output from our filters. Shut up. Let's connect to our mixer. Oh yes, if you missed the last tutorial, my settings is built like this. So there is a mixer, there is with an expander that allows me to use the plateau reverb with a send return system, and finally there is the audio interface, and this thing that is useful for change the color of the cables. I love red cables, as you can imagine. So now this is the only what is coming out from the high. Oh la la! Only from the high pass filter. But I don't need the lower part, the medium part. I only want the higher part, the highest part. This, I want only this. And I don't want this every time. So Yes, it could work in this way. Why not? It could work. Probably I have to find the sweet spot, and probably change the pan in this way. It could work if you like. Why not? But I want to add more energy when these sounds is triggered. When these sounds appears in the scene, I want more power. So for do this is very easy. I only have to engage this VCA with the same envelope that engage these sounds. This sound is engaged from an envelope, so I use the same envelope for trigger this VCA. And as you can see here, when I engage the VCA, the sounds appear. And this happens. This is the result with this strategy. This is the result without this strategy. As you can hear, yes, there is something going on, but this sound is not very strong. In this way is stronger, and I think that is more layered and more crunchy and more, it got obviously more power. Obviously you have to find the sweet spot. Probably now is a bit too much. I have to do this, and I want to pan it using one of our LFOs. For example, these. Remember, when you control pan using an LFO, you have to offset it, because if you miss to do this, you only hear the sound in your right speaker. And obviously, for activate the pan, you have to raise up the knob. I think it's a pretty nice bass. And now we will try to add our sample. You can already try to do a bit of mixing, let's say mixing in this part of the construction using this. For example, I think that these sounds, the lower part of this sound struggle a little bit with our bass, so I reduce a little bit the volume of the lower part. Oh yes, these sounds got a little bit of how I can say amplitude modulation, because there is a built-in LFO. You can change the shape here, and I think that no, it don't change the amplitude, but it's changing the speed. I like this sampler, because it doesn't use a lot of a lot of computer energy. So always in this case I want to add a lot of delays. So you can try with just 2. So now we can also talk about using sample. So probably there is a lot of people can think that something like, oh no, you are using a sample from another production, so you are copying, you are robbing the ideas from something other and use this for your music. Yes, but this sample will be completely changed. So we don't have this problem. I have to apologize a little bit for my English, but for me it's a bit difficult to speak in English. Let's take another caudal. For change our parameter. Yes, I know there is a real cable mess here, but it is the only way for do this. Let's change a bit the feedback. Obviously, these 2 delays control the left signal and these 2 delays control the right signal. And this is the final result. Probably I have to raise up a bit this. Obviously we can do the same thing, so let's take a VCA and try to discover if something is coming out from the higher part. Something is going on here. Something similar to a white noise. Well, that can works. Maybe we can try to activate this part with an envelope. And let's take the second output, the output B coming out from chance. I can't understand if it works. So the volume is very, very low. Yeah, yeah. So every now and then this happens. I think that it could be interesting. Let's change the pan, obviously, using this. Yeah, I like the result, yes. In the next tutorial, we could try to achieve something similar, but using not a PCO, but using another sampler. For example, I could sample other tracks, other ambient stuff. Why not? It could be a nice idea. So guys, thanks for follow my channel and to keep supporting the project, the Dark Ambient project. And I hope that you find useful this kind of tutorial. So see you soon, and thanks you. See you.